scandal rocks tennis. The accusation that changed everything. Welcome back to Pro Tennis 360, your #1 source for the hottest drama in the world of tennis. If you thought the Australian Open was purely about who lifts the trophy, think again. What we are about to reveal today will shake the very foundations of professional tennis. We are witnessing what might be the biggest equipment scandal in the modern era of the WTA. And believe me, this story has everything: heartbreak, allegations of technological cheating, secret investigations, and a rising star who refuses to stay silent when she knows something is wrong. We are talking about Alexandra Eala, the 20-year-old from the Philippines who has captured the hearts of millions with her resilience and extraordinary skill. We are talking about Zheng Saisai, the powerful Chinese player whose racket might be hiding a secret capable of changing everything we know about fair play. And we are talking about a semi-final that was supposed to be a straightforward match, but has now turned into what many are calling a technological crime scene. The tennis world is in total shock right now. Forums are exploding. Social media is flooded with accusations and counters. And at the center of it all is Alex Eala, wiping away tears, but firmly refusing to back down from what she witnessed on that court in Auckland. Before we dive into the heart of this scandal, if you want to stay updated on the most intense tennis drama, don't forget to subscribe to Pro Tennis 360 and turn on notifications. We bring you the unvarnished truth, the stories they don't want you to know. Now the biggest question: does Alex Eala have enough evidence to overturn the match result? Or is this just a baseless accusation from a young player who couldn't handle the pressure? Let's dive into every detail. The rising star. Who is Alexandra Eala? To understand why this scandal is so serious, we have to understand the person at its center. Alexandra Eala is no ordinary player. She is a phenomenon changing the face of Philippine tennis. At just 20 years old, Eala became the first Filipino female in history to win a junior Grand Slam singles title at the 2022 US Open. She has taken down much higher-ranked opponents, fought through WTA qualifiers, and is now standing on the doorstep of the world's top 100. But beyond the numbers, Alex Eala represents hope. In a nation where basketball is everything and tennis courts are often empty, Eala is sparking a revolution. She is inspiring thousands of Filipino children to pick up a racket for the first time. I'm always happy when I go home and my cousins tell me, "Aid, it's so hard to book a court now." Eala once shared with her trademark humble smile. That's a good sign. It's more than a good sign. It's the Eala effect, exactly what Manny Pacquiao did for Philippine boxing. She is proving that a girl from Manila can stand toe-to-toe with the biggest names in the world. Now imagine how she feels knowing all that effort, all that sacrifice might have been stolen by an illegal racket. Auckland was supposed to be Eala's breakthrough moment. She had secured her Australian Open main draw spot. She was hunting for her second WTA Tour title. This was her time. But instead, she faced what she calls technological injustice. And now the world is waiting to see if her accusation has enough weight to rewrite history. The crime scene, the Auckland semi-final. Let's rewind to the crime scene. And yes, I am calling it a crime scene because that is exactly what it might become. We are talking about the ASB Classic semi-final in Auckland, New Zealand. January 10th, 2026. The atmosphere in the stadium was electric. On one side, you have Alexandra Eala, the 20-year-old pride of the Philippines, playing perhaps the best tennis of her entire career. Opposite her, China's Zheng Saisai, the tournament's 7th seed, known across the tour for flat ground strokes that pierced the air like lasers. On paper, this match looked like an absolute blockbuster. And for nearly 3 hours, it was a gladiatorial battle worthy of ancient Rome. Eala was everywhere. She painted the lines with extraordinary precision. Her left-handed forehand found angles that seemed to defy the laws of geometry. The commentators were running out of adjectives to describe what they were seeing. Then came the moment that defined Eala's fighting spirit. She found herself down 1-5 in the first set, staring at a crushing defeat. Faced with a gap that would make lesser players crumble, Alex Eala didn't just fight back. she staged one of the most miraculous comebacks you will ever see in a set of tennis, winning 6 straight games to take the set 7-5. That is the kind of resilience that separates the good from the great. The crowd was on its feet. Social media was erupting. But then, something began to change. When physics are violated, anomalous power. Things started getting weird. And I mean really weird. TV viewers were the first to notice, posting comments about the abnormal power Zheng was generating. Even the commentators began to whisper about it, their voices carrying a tone of confusion as they tried to explain what they were seeing. Every time Eala seemed to have Zheng in a corner, every time the Filipino star forced her opponent into a defensive struggle, Zheng would somehow produce a shot with a completely inexplicable amount of velocity from positions that should have been purely defensive. We aren't just talking about a player finding extra momentum through adrenaline. We are talking about shots that seem to violate the basic laws of physics governing the sport. In the second set, Eala climbed to a 5-3 lead. She was serving for the match. She had a match point, one single swing away from glory. And then, Zheng unleashed a series of forehands that didn't just land in. They exploded off the court surface at speeds that seemed impossible from her defensive stance. Balls that should have been routine returns suddenly zipped past Eala before she could even react. It was like watching someone flip a switch and activate a superpower. The sound from Zheng's racket was different, too. This is crucial. Many in the stadium noticed it. If you rewatch the footage with the volume up, there is a sharp, metallic ping echoing through the stadium every time Zheng makes contact. A sound distinctly different from a usual thwack of a tennis ball hitting strings and frame. Eala noticed it too. If you watch closely during changeovers, you can see her glancing repeatedly at Zheng's equipment, her eyes narrowed with suspicion, her mind clearly racing to process what she was experiencing. The comeback from Zheng was brutal to watch for Eala fans. Zheng took the second set 7-5, erasing Eala's match point. Then in the third, despite Eala fighting tooth and nail to lead 5-4, Zheng rallied again to win 6-4. On paper, it looked heroic. Now it looks like something much more suspicious. Breaking the silence, Eala's rage and accusation. Eala walked off that court completely devastated. Her post-match Instagram post captured the raw emotion. So close yet so far. But behind the scenes, away from the cameras and the congratulatory press conference Zheng was attending, Eala's sadness was quickly transforming into something else. Suspicion, anger, and a burning need for answers. In Eala's mind, this wasn't about choking under pressure. It was about an unfair playing field. A few days later, while the tennis world praised the semi-final as an instant classic, Alex Eala broke the silence with the force of a tsunami hitting an unsuspecting coast. In a move that stunned WTA officials, Eala officially appealed the match result. But she wasn't just citing the health issues she fought through. She was accusing something far more dangerous. "I know what I felt out there," Eala reportedly told her team in a private conversation that was later leaked. "The ball was coming back faster than I was hitting it, even on simple blocks. That isn't natural. That isn't humanly possible. That's technology doing the work." Then came the public statement that literally stopped the presses. Eala filed an official complaint alleging that Zheng Saisai used a racket equipped with what she described as a power-enhanced kinetic dampening system, a piece of technology allegedly in secret testing with a major manufacturer and not approved for WTA competition. She used a racket with power-enhancing technology that is under secret testing and has not been approved by the WTA, stated her official complaint. The words were carefully chosen, but dropped like a bomb. The investigation, WADA, and the science behind the accusation. The reaction was immediate. Eala's coach was seen in a heated exchange with tournament officials, demanding that Zheng's rackets be confiscated for forensic testing. The allegation was so specific, referencing secret testing programs and unapproved prototype materials, that the governing bodies were forced to act. Sources close to the investigation have confirmed that the World Anti-Doping Agency, WADA, which usually focuses on biological doping, has launched a joint investigation with the International Tennis Federation, ITF, Technical Committee. Why WADA? Because the allegation implies a violation of the spirit of sport, a clause that allows for the investigation of any device that fundamentally alters the human element of competition. The preliminary results of this investigation have reportedly stunned the tennis world. Forensic scans of the racket seized from Zheng's bag discovered significant anomalies in the carbon fiber layup. Specifically, scans showed microcavities within the frame structure filled with what material scientists call a non-Newtonian fluid. For those unfamiliar, a non-Newtonian fluid changes its viscosity based on the stress applied to it. In this case, when Zheng swings and makes contact, the fluid inside the frame temporarily hardens. This creates a stiffer frame equals more energy returned to the ball. It adds roughly 20% more power than a standard graphite racket. If this is true, Zheng Saisai wasn't just playing better than Eala. She was using equipment where science did the work instead of technique. This is technological cheating at the highest level. The Eala effect, cultural impact, and responsibility. While the scandal unfolds, we cannot ignore the impact Alex Eala is having in her home country. The Eala effect is real and measurable. In an interview in Melbourne, Eala spoke about the changing landscape of sports in the Philippines, a nation traditionally obsessed with basketball. "Yeah, that's the reality," Eala said. "When I'm at home, tennis isn't one of the biggest sports. I hope that's changing." It is changing. Eala shared a heartwarming anecdote. "It always makes me happy when I go home and my cousins tell me, 'Oh, it's so hard to rent a court now.'" Think about that. Public courts in Manila that used to sit empty are now fully booked because young boys and girls are inspired by watching Alex. She is doing exactly what Manny Pacquiao did for boxing. She is proving that a girl from Manila can compete at the highest international level. "I think people in the Philippines, we just need to take the first step," Eala added. "I think we are taking some good steps." She's being humble as always. But the reality is she's leading a revolution, and she's doing it at only 20 years old. Imagine the weight of that responsibility, knowing millions of kids back home are dreaming through you. To feel that victory was stolen not by skill, but by cheating technology. That is a heavy burden to carry. The next battle, Australian Open and Alicia Parks. But the show must go on. Champions don't dwell on controversy. While the investigation happens in the background, Alex Eala is channeling her anger into preparation for the first Australian Open main draw of her life. The draw is out, and it is a spicy one. Eala faces American power hitter Alicia Parks on Sunday, January 18th. This is a classic clash of styles. On one side, Alicia Parks, known for one thing above all else, pure, unadulterated power. Parks holds a record for the fastest serve in U.S. Open history at 129 miles per hour, tying her with the legendary Venus Williams. When Parks is firing on all cylinders, she literally takes the racket out of your hand. She can hit winners from 3 feet behind the baseline that you have no chance of touching. However, Eala fans should be optimistic. Alicia Parks is a highly volatile player. She can hit 10 aces in a set, but she can also hit 10 double faults and beat herself. She is the definition of high risk, high reward. Tactical breakdown. How Eala can win. How does Alex Eala beat Alicia Parks? Let's break down the tactics. Weapon number 1, consistency. Eala excels at smart counter-punching and high tennis IQ. She doesn't beat herself. She forces you to beat her. If Eala can extend rallies past 4 or 5 shots, the errors from Parks will inevitably come. Weapon number 2, the lefty serve. Eala's left-handed slice, serve out wide to the Parks backhand will be a crucial pattern. If Eala can force Parks to hit backhand returns from far outside the court, she can control her service games. Weapon number 3, mental strength. We saw Eala fight back from 1 to 5 in Auckland. Parks, on the other hand, has a reputation for crumbling when things go wrong. If Eala takes the first set, Parks may start overthinking, and the errors will mount. The strategy: extend rallies, force Parks to hit 5+ shots per point. Target the backhand with the lefty serve. Use superior movement to defend the power. Wait for unforced errors to accumulate. Stakes, implications, and what's next. As we count down to Sunday, the tennis world is watching with intense interest. This is more than a first-round match. It's a statement match for Eala. It's her chance to prove she can handle adversity and come back stronger. It's a test of whether the mental burden of the Auckland controversy drags her down or fuels her. For the sport, the stakes are even higher. If Eala's allegations are proven true, we are looking at one of the biggest equipment scandals in history. It would mean equipment manufacturers facing stricter regulations, governing bodies increasing racket inspections, every match Zheng played with that racket being called into question. Regardless of the outcome, Alex Eala has shown she is more than a talented player. She is a woman of courage, willing to stand up for what is right even if it means taking on the giants. For the millions of kids in the Philippines watching her, that is a lesson more important than any tennis match. A lesson in integrity. Before we go, if you've watched this far, you are a serious tennis fan who wants the unfiltered truth. That's what we do here at Pro Tennis 360. So subscribe now, turn on notifications, and join a community that demands transparency in tennis. One final question for you. Will Alex Eala let the Auckland scandal crush her, or will she use it as fuel to prove the doubters wrong? Will justice prevail in the investigation? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Remember, the truth always emerges in the end. We'll be here to make sure it does. This is Pro Tennis 360. We are the ones who dig deeper. See you in the next video.